Oh, I need to put do not disturb on.
And we are live.
And here we are.
Live. Yay!
We're here again. I feel like we just did this.
We did just do it. We've been doing it all
day. How are you, Hanna?
I'm great. Thank you for having me on. How are you, ladies?
We are
fabulous. So we're unveiling today that this is our powerful, empowering, fantastic, beautiful, intelligent. I have not enough nice words to say about her. This is our keynote speaker. Advice from Hanna is joining us. First of all, thank you for agreeing to be our keynote speaker. We adore you, you know that. And we couldn't think of anybody better to lead us into our upcoming event.
I'm super stoked. Thank you so much for having me. Hey, Wendy, I'm going to have to call you when I wake up so I can get all this hype. All the hype.
Girl, I got you. Don't worry. You can call me. You know what? I may just give you a recording because I'm not a morning person. I'm going to tell you.
She'll call you after 10.
After 10? Okay. No, I'll take it. I'll take all the hype I can get at this point. No, this is going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I always have fun chatting with you guys.
What's your question?
Somebody has a question.
You have a quick question.
Welcome. Wait till the question comes. So, Hanna, can you introduce yourself?
Of course. So my name is Hanna Guzman. I am the founder of the lifestyle brand Advice from Hanna and podcast, speaker, big time hugger, and movie watcher.
Very cool. I love that. Big time hugger. Yeah. You and me are on the same page for that.
Yeah. Okay.
What inspired you to come out with your brand?
Well, you know what? We're about 3 years old in March. So we turned 3 in March. So this journey has been going on for a minute. I really just wanted to start my own business in a sense of something that I could call my own, just because I come from a long line of entrepreneurs. And I feel as though society has these norms that you have to stick to. And, nobody's ever talked to me personally about starting my own thing at that point 3 years ago. Now I get ideas left, right, and center. But, at the beginning, I was like, wow, I really want something to call my own, because I didn't feel that anybody online was being transparent and keeping it real about how shitty life can really be sometimes, and how that's okay to feel that way. But you know what? We're here. This is how we feel. But together, we're going to move forward. That's where kind of Advice from Hanna was born and where it came from.
I love that.
March, by chance, March when? 3 years ago.
So March 7th, I believe, is my very first video that I have on the platform. I know it started in February, but my first, I didn't think anybody was going to follow me or do anything. I just thought this was going to be like a little page that I have 100 followers on, and I was going to be happy with it. So what happened was my page got hacked, and I had to restart it. So I know, because my password was Hanna123, which it's not my password now to anything, so don't try. But
well, you can try, but you're not gonna succeed.
Right.
I can get very far. And so my whole thing was I was gonna be like some mystery person behind online and tell everybody, advice. And then the second time I launched it, I was like, hey, this is my face. Read it. Leave it. So because I've had like 70 followers, and I was like, my hard work, because I could turn on the theatrics very quickly. And then I relaunched it with a video, and literally I was up like 150 by a week and a half, because literally everybody just kept reposting me. I do have to say this one thing: I'm not quote unquote famous or whatever. But I've always been very well accepted by the public. Like, the public has always loved me. Like, anything I've done, it's always been well accepted. So I'm thankful for that, and for everybody that rides with me since day one.
Wow.
I can see why that would be. You are a beautiful woman. You are intelligent and articulated in everything you do and say. You talk about good topics. So
Oh,
good
thank
on them for recognizing that you're such a gem.
Mm-hmm.
you. Well, thank you. Thank you.
You know, so one, I listen to your podcast. Do you know that?
Oh,
And then two,
yeah.
Wisdom Wednesdays. Where did that come from? Because some mornings when I wake up and I get your message, I'm like, is she spying on me? Is she like, what is she reading my, like, Wisdom Wednesdays are like, and it's like clockwork now, because like, especially when I'm on the overnight and I open up my phone like at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning and I see your message, like your video, it's so, the message speaks to me all the time.
I don't know how I do that. Till this day, I always get somebody like, I felt like you were talking to me, my girl. I literally, Wisdom Wednesday stemmed from the fact that I wasn't comfortable in front of the camera. So I wanted to get comfortable in front of the camera. So I said to myself, I'm going to do 100 Wisdom Wednesday videos, which I have done now. But everybody loves it so much that I'm just like, okay, this is just going to be the thing that's on my page.
Mm-hmm.
But I've wanted to get comfortable in front of the camera because I would look at other online figures, and I liked how when they went on camera, you felt like they were talking to you. So I really wanted to do that, but I'd be on camera like, "Hey, welcome back to Wisdom Wednesday with Hanna," and I'd be like, all up in my feels at the beginning, and at one point I was like, "Hey, that's Hanna." So I really grew into my shell. If you actually look up the hashtag Wisdom Wednesday with Hanna, you could scroll down and see my very beginning videos. They weren't that good. Okay. They weren't that good. Not at all.
But it shows
But it was learning, right? It's part of the learning process.
Most definitely part of the learning process. So that's kind of where that stemmed from, because I wanted to have my own segment. Like this whole time, one of my number one goals was to be like Oprah. I've learned that through time and things like that I can't be Oprah because there's only one Oprah. She's she. And I'm sorry, my dog is just around. But now I still want my own show. Even though I have a podcast, I still want like a television show, which is where the video comes from, because I find that all the other people that have TV shows are on camera at least once a week on their platform. So that's kind of my my thing here.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
So the question, just before
go ahead.
Before you go to your question, Wendy. So the question that is asked, I'm gonna let it go. Somebody wants to know, are you related to do you get asked this question?
No, I am not related. But thank you. I'm not. However, it's funny that you mentioned baseball. It's my very favorite sport ever. I am from the Dominican Republic. I say this all the time. So baseball is in my blood. So maybe we are. Maybe we're long lost cousins at this point. But yeah, no, not that I know of.
6
But
degrees
baseball,
of separation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'll take a famous cousin. I have a few, but I'll take another one. That was a great question, man. That was a great question.
Thank you for your question. Wendy.
So what was or is interrupting your life, Hanna?
Currently my dog, who likes to be all up in my grill, in my space. Just, I'm recording, go away. I gave her a look. She did. She's probably gonna come back. But in retrospect, all jokes aside, the only thing that stops me is myself. I find that that's the only person that can really ever stop you from doing anything, because we both know that come hell or high water, when somebody wants to do something, whether it's good or not, they're going to go and do it. So it's really only you stopping yourself from that thing that you want to achieve. The barriers, right? Which is what we're talking about soon, in a couple days at the event.
And so what are you doing now to, like, what are the talks that you have with yourself to get past that?
Okay, so I can swear on here, right? I think I can.
Yeah, this is a safe space.
I literally, like, I give myself the biggest hype. Like, I'm just like, you are one bad, let's go, get up. I put on my headphones, I put on gangster rap, and I literally, I'm like, let's go. What are you waiting for? And I always think of this, and it always makes me feel emotional when I think about it, that there's women, you know, even in Toronto, like, let's get small, like even in my neighborhood, that really want to do something and they can't because of so many factors, right? Which we won't get into, but sometimes society or just cultural things. Maybe they want to get in front of a camera, maybe they want to have, a platform, and they're being told no, no, no. That's something that motivates me as to the little girl in the Caribbean right now that's walking around that wants to study and she can't because she doesn't have the funds. And here I have all of these resources available to me. I want to go study, man, I go get a loan, I go to school. If I want to start something, I Google it, I start it. You could really do something with very little to no money. It's just you know, the push factor, right? The how consistent are you going to be with that one thing that you want? And I'm able to do that. I have the access to do that, and maybe my next door neighbor doesn't. So why can't I do it?
Right.
What's stopping me?
Amazing. I love that answer. And that fear, right? Sometimes the fear is worse than anything that can happen along the way anyway. Just taking that first step out sometimes, right?
Yeah, what's the worst that can happen? You suck at it, boo hoo. You know how many people? One of my good friends. She started off as a fitness influencer, and she realized 2 months into it, website and everything. She's like, man, I really like wine and pizza. I can't be a fitness influencer because I can't indulge in the foods that I like. And she literally canned the whole thing and started something completely different. So but she did it. She realized that wasn't her thing,
Right.
and then she moved on. Right. So
was it a pizza and wine critic?
No, you know what? She started showing people how to build their own brands and social media platforms online because she saw, and whenever you talk to her, she's like, is that what you really want to do? Because we could start off doing something, and my God, if you don't want to do it 6 months of the road, you're like, you know what? Forget it. This isn't working. This is not me. I'm miserable. Guess what? You can change it. You can change it and start all over again and do something else.
And that's okay. That's totally okay.
And I think that's important to a good important reminder, because I think sometimes people get into something and they're like, I'm going to disappoint A, B, C, and D. I'm going to look like a failure. I'm going to be all these things. When meanwhile, probably half to next to none of those people are watching you anyway. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. So, and it's good to know that you can take chances. Go out and take the chance, and if that fails, move on to the next. One door closes, another one opens. Right? Let's be cliche.
No, why that? You know what? I love cliches because they work.
It's true. Work. I agree with you.
They do work. It's always, to me, it's the network. I was having this conversation with somebody a couple of months ago. I'm like, it's the network that you build around that thing, right? Because now you have these people, whatever, let it be 200, 150, followers on one platform. If you turn around and you're walking down the street and you see 100 people following you everywhere you go, you turn around, they're there. Those are your people that, fucks with you, that like you for you, not the product. So if you pivot and you change something, they'll be like, oh, yeah, that's great, cool. And they follow you, right? So know who your audience is, even if it's a small audience, and nurture the heck out of them. Nurture them.
Right. Yeah,
that's great advice. Advice from Hanna. It just happens everywhere.
All the time. I really just secretly like telling people what to do. I swear. The bossiness in me. This is what you need to do.
Leading them in a good way. You're giving them good advice and you're leading them in a good way. So
yes,
lead them all the way. So what's next for Hanna? What does 2021 look like for Hanna?
You know what? I love that question because I have no idea, but
that's okay.
I really don't. But you know what? I've always been, people have always commented on my writing and how whenever I write to them, it's something that they feel. So I really want to focus more on my writing. Yes, podcasting is still a thing. Videos are still a thing, but there's a part of me that only comes out in words that she doesn't come out in any other formatting. So I really want to start getting more my writing out there, whether it be via magazines, blogs, books, hint, whatever it is that needs to get out there from the writing portion of me will probably happen this year, hopefully, because everybody and their mom has been asking me for a book. Literally, my mother, when you write your book? So yeah,
I love that.
So hopefully that, and season 3 of the podcast is definitely dropping this year, alongside any other things that God and the universe wants to send over to me. Let's get to work, right?
Yeah.
Let's
Nice.
get to work.
So if you haven't checked out her podcast, it's on every platform, right? You can be found anywhere.
Everything.
And
Everywhere, even in your mom's kitchen, I swear.
and I'm gonna tell you because I binge listened to it like before Christmas. I binge listened to it because there was episodes that I missed. So I binge listened to it. So it's a good listen. Like lots of great interviews, lots of great laughs. Yeah.
And they're short. They're short and to the point, like me.
What's your favorite podcast episodes, or what are a couple of your favorite podcast episodes?
Oh man, you're gonna put me on the spot like that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna sound like the grandma. They're all my favorites. You ask your grandma which one she likes the most, and then there's always that grandkid.
Yes.
There's always that one granddaughter that she likes the most.
Mm-hmm.
But anything. So I have favorite interviewees. I don't quite remember the actual episode, but I like interviewing Joel Mercado. He's one of my favorite interviews ever. You know that him and we vibe a lot. The holiday special, all 12 interviews, all of them. I fell in love with them. And there's this one episode that's called The Power of No. That's a solo episode in season 1. That's one of my personal favorites of me by myself. But each interview brings out a different aspect of my life. And it's always so special because I don't jump on the mic unless I like you. There's a known thing. I don't like to do things, because this person has this many, and I don't like doing that stuff.
Right.
Do we vibe? Is the conversation going to be cool? I don't care if you got 50 followers on Instagram. Are you going to reshare my content? You are?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. We're in good standing. But it would have to be definitely the Joelle interviews, and David Rodriguez. I had him in season 1, and any of my ladies, just because they're so intimate, right? Because I find that females, we all look differently and we go through different things, but the actual human emotion that we all go through is the exact same.
Yeah.
It is the same across the board. I know some of us feel it more or less than others, but really, I've never not spoken to a female that I wasn't like, man, yeah, I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
I get that, right? Or you've been there in a sense, or you've been next to somebody who's been there, and I'm very empathetic and I feel a lot, which is so annoying some days. But I do feel a lot too. So people are like, oh my God, stop emotions. I'm trying to get through this movie. Please stop triggering me. Yeah, I find that each conversation is so different from the next. It's just, I don't know. Can you tell I love it?
Yes.
Can you tell I love it?
No, that's
it's fun. It's fun.
Awesome.
So I love all my children.
What's that? You love all your children. I have one final question for you, and that is, what can the women that are going to attend our event, what can they expect from Hanna, the keynote speaker?
Hey, you're gonna laugh. Okay, so it's gonna be a fun time because I'm a lot of things, but very, very fun. Secondly, you're gonna grab some notes.
I second that.
Yeah, I have fun. I'm fun. Trust me. That's one of my favorite things about myself. I always try to have fun in everything that I do, just because I feel it's important. And I may not be able to fix your life, fix your life in 45 minutes, or but I will make sure that you feel better, and that whatever path you're on, whether you feel it's right or wrong, is where you need to be at this very moment. And where are we going to turn the dial to move into the direction that you feel you deserve to be at this very moment.
Beautiful.
Already a standing ovation.
I know.
Wendy, I've been you with you everywhere.
Amazing. Thank you. we want to thank you again. 1, for being our
Okay.
keynote. 2, for agreeing to come on and do these interviews with us.
I love
And
them.
you can look out for Hannah's podcast episode on What's Interrupting Your Life, because she's going to be on there as well. We ain't finished with her yet.
Nope, I'm here to stay. You're
Yeah.
stuck with me, honestly, at this point. I'm like that couch that you can't throw away.
So I'm
Yes,
taking that as a big compliment that she vibes with us.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm dying for this lockdown to finish so we can go out and have a couple of laughs. Because honestly, girl,
And
at
do
this
our,
point,
vision board. Remember, we talked about doing like a vision board, like garden thing.
we had
love
a garden. And I wanted to be, we had a garden and I wanted music playing as people walked in.
Yeah.
I have so many visions. It's just, come on, world, open up. Like so many things that we have to do. It just even on the professional standpoint, but even on the personal, just kicking it with you two, I think would be fun. Even at this point, if it's at a parking lot. I live in front of one. I see a lot of people chilling. Okay, they have stopped.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Hanna.
Thanks, Hanna.
A special place in our heart. So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, definitely get your tickets, because Hannah's gonna be there, and you can connect.
You don't want to miss her.
You don't want to miss her. Definitely go check out her podcast. It's on every platform. And earlier on today, Wendy and I did this thing where I provided an exclusive link to the event where you can get the tickets for even cheaper. It's a private link. So if you send us a direct message after you've watched this, definitely send us a direct message and I will send you the private link. The tickets are even cheaper than what you see it there. Can't tell you the price. You gotta get the private link. But
if you don't show up, I'm gonna be very upset, especially the person who asked me if I was related to the baseball player.
Right. Yes. So thank you
again. Have a happy family day. Hope you're enjoying your family.
So
of course, all the time.
To IG.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Yes. Okay. Bye.
I will.
Bye. Thank you.